Good morning everyone. Welcome back to Additional English third semester class e-learning platform. In the previous class we discussed play as a literary genre, types of plays, and this genre of one-act plays. Now, before reading Helena's Husband, which is a historical play, let us try to understand what is a historical play or a comedy, so that we will be able to read Helena's Husband in a better way. Therefore, let's have an understanding of historical play or a comedy. So in this video, I shall cover two topics, so that is historical play or a comedy, and historical background to the one-act play titled Helena's Husband. Alright. So what is a historical play? And who are some famous historical playwrights and their famous plays? Let's try to have a look at it. Yes, a historical play or a chronicle play is a play that has a theme from history, consisting usually of loosely connected episodes chronologically arranged. It is clear to what it means. A historical play is that a historical play or a drama has a theme from history. That's very simple to understand. And plays of this type typically lay emphasis on the public welfare by pointing to the past as a lesson for the present. So addressing these past events, historical events, is to bring a lesson, teach a lesson, or take a lesson for our present situations. So that's how a historical play is a play that has history, a theme from history, an event from history, and usually taken for learning a lesson from the past. So as you know, Shakespeare has written many historical plays which are given here, like King John, Richard II, Henry V, Henry VIII, and so on. His contemporary Christopher Marlowe also has written a historical play or drama titled Edward II. Then Thomas Heywood, George Bernard Shaw's Saint John, very popular one. Then Arthur Miller's The Crucible, William Goldman's The Lion in the Winter, then Jerome Lawrence's Inherit the Wind, T.S. Eliot's Murder in the Cathedral, again a famous play. Coming to Indian context, Girish Karnad's Tughlaq, which deals with a Muslim emperor, Tughlaq, and then Talevenda, which deals with Basavanna, Vachana literati, Basavanna, and then the Dreams of Tipu Sultan. Then the more famous Crossing to Kalikota, which deals with the historical event of the fall, the battle of Vijayanagara kingdom, or the fall of Vijayanagara kingdom. Then Mahesh Dattani's Final Solutions. So these are some popular plays, historical plays that have a reference to our history. Therefore, in this session, that is session number 4, we have discussed what is a historical play, some famous historical playwrights, then English, British, American, as well as Indian playwrights we have discussed in this session. So as to check your comprehension of this session, go through these PPTs, multiple choice questions. With this, let's move on to the next topic, that is historical background of Helena. It is a play written by Philip Moyler. Okay. So in this session of this part of the video, let's try to understand who is this Helena. The title reads as Helena's husband. So let's first discuss who is Helena and what are the causes for the War of Troy. Therefore, Helena of Troy belongs to Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Helena or Helen was considered to be the most beautiful woman in Greece, and she is also considered to be the indirect cause of the Trojan War that lasted for 10 years, which is considered the longest fought battle in Greece. This Helena of Troy was the daughter of Zeus and Leda. She was also the sister of Clytemnestra, who married Agamemnon. These all characters are mythological characters in Greece. So, to understand her action in the mythology, she was married to Paris, son of the Trojan king. She was married to Menelaus, the Spartan king, but later she ran away with a young man prince called Paris, the son of the Trojan king Priam. So this act of hers resulted in the Trojan War, according to Greek mythology, according to some sources. But in this play, Helena's husband, Philip Moyler, tries to construct it differently from the angle of Helena. So as you can see, Helena's bust that's there in some museum, painted by Pierre. Before reading the play, let's understand these characters in Greek mythology. Zeus was a goddess in ancient Greek religion. In ancient Greek religion, Zeus is the deity, a god of pantheon, a sky and weather god. Leda, in Greek legend, is believed to be the daughter of Thyestes and mother. She is the mother to Pollux and Helen, twins, by Zeus. There is Agamemnon, Greek hero, brother of Menelaus, and then Paris, as we have discussed already, he is the son of Trojan king Priam. So this mention of Trojan War we find in many great works, even in popular literature, popular form of literature, that is movies. We see the reference and depiction of Trojan War in many of the movies. To talk about literature, mention of Trojan War in literature, Homer's Iliad and Odyssey have the description of this war. Virgil's Aeneid also. Then in Marlowe's Dr. Faustus has the reference to Helena. So as I have told you already, Helena was considered to be the most beautiful woman in Greece in her times. So this dialogue, these lines from Marlowe's Dr. Faustus, a tragedy, speaks high of the beauty of Helena. So you may read in your leisure time, you may read these lines and understand. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burned the topless towers of Ilium? Sweet Helen. There is a character in Dr. Foster's who addresses Helena. So you read it in your leisure time and try to understand the significance of these lines. Okay, let's move on. So as I told you, in Trojan War, so since there are two versions. See, one version says Helena ran away with Paris, and the other source says Paris abducted her, kidnapped her. So anyways, but there was a war between Spartans. Menelaus belongs to Spartans, and Paris belonged to the Trojans. So there was a battle between the two parties, which lasted for 10 years, and finally, in the end, when the Greeks pretended to withdraw, so that Greeks, in the sense Spartans, they showed indications that they are withdrawing from the battle, and then they left some wooden horses in which there were Spartan soldiers hidden. So thinking that the war is over, Trojans opened the gates of their kingdom, and they were amazed by these wooden horses. They took them inside, but later soldiers came out and killed the Trojans and won over the Trojans. So according to a source, this is the story. Therefore, in this session, we have discussed who is Helena, some Greek characters, references to Greek mythologies, and how Helena's action is considered in the popular mythology. So there are two versions, as I have told you. One says Helena eloped with Paris, and the other version shows Paris kidnapped Helena. So after the battle, there are again different versions which say Helena returned to Menelaus, and the other source says she did not return to him. But anyways, it was considered to be the longest fought battle in the history of Greeks, and that's how the War of Troy is a very famous battle. So as to check your understanding of this session, this class, go through multiple choice questions. 5 multiple choice questions are included in each part of each sessions. So with this, let us conclude this session. Thank you.